Finally tonight here, The Secrets of Mary Poppins. Julie Andrews and Dick Van Dyke, in their own words, celebrating 60 years of a Disney classic.
You may think you know everything about Mary Poppins, the songs, the characters, the unforgettable magic. But the behind-the-scenes story was far from the wholesome image on screen. Now, nearly 60 years later, Van Dyke is opening up about the drama that haunted the set, the tension with co-stars, and the shocking sacrifices he made to bring the magic to life. What he reveals will surprise even the most devoted fans. Dick Van Dyke's story began in West Plains, Missouri, on December 13, 1925. However, even his birth came with an unexpected twist. For years, Van Dyke believed he was born in 1926, only to learn at 18 that his parents had lied about his birth year. This was done to conceal that he was conceived before their marriage, a scandalous detail in the 1920s. This revelation left a lasting mark on him. The family moved to Danville, Illinois, where Van Dyke spent most of his childhood. It was a small town, but remarkably, it became a hub of future talent. At Danville High School, Van Dyke's classmates included Donald O'Connor, later known for Singin' in the Rain, and jazz legend Bobby Short. Even more astonishing, one of his close friends was Gene Hackman's cousin. At the time, Van Dyke had no interest in show business. He was deeply religious and even considered becoming a Presbyterian minister. He taught Sunday school and served as a deacon at his church. But everything changed when he joined the high school drama club. This decision set him on a path he hadn't expected, one that would lead to a lifetime of entertaining audiences. During World War II, Van Dyke felt a call to serve. In 1944, he left high school to join the U.S. Army Air Forces. However, at 6 feet 1 inch tall and weighing just 135 pounds, he was repeatedly rejected for being underweight. Determined to enlist, he famously stuffed himself with bananas and water before his third attempt, barely making the 141-pound requirement. Once accepted, his military career took an unexpected turn. Initially trained as a radio announcer, he narrowly avoided being assigned as a tail gunner, a position with one of the highest mortality rates. Instead, Van Dyke showcased his knack for entertaining by singing and dancing during a talent review. This earned him a spot in the Special Services, where he performed for troops instead of seeing combat, an experience that further sharpened his skills as a performer. After the war, Van Dyke's career in entertainment began to take shape. He started as a radio DJ at WDAN in Danville, developing his smooth voice and quick wit. But it was his partnership with Phil Erickson that truly launched his career. Together, they formed a comedy duo called Eric and Van, the Merry Mutes, performing mime and lip-syncing acts to records. They toured the nightclub circuit on the West Coast and later hosted a local TV show in Atlanta. The act's success gave Van Dyke valuable experience in physical comedy and timing, traits that would become his trademarks. Van Dyke's natural talent soon caught the attention of television audiences. In 1954, he appeared on the talent show Chance of a Lifetime, which opened doors to more opportunities. He began hosting CBS's The Morning Show and became a panelist on To Tell the Truth. These early roles allowed him to connect with viewers, showcasing the charm and humor that would define his career. Dick Van Dyke's path to stardom began with an unexpected break on September 5, 1954, when he appeared on the talent show Chance of a Lifetime. At the time, he was transitioning from radio and nightclub acts to the world of television. What many people don't know is that Van Dyke almost missed this chance entirely. Just before he was set to perform, he was overwhelmed with stage fright and hid in a bathroom stall. It took the encouragement of a fellow contestant and a quick swig from a flask to get him back on track. Once on stage, Van Dyke performed a skit involving a microphone cord that tangled around him as he tried to sing. The audience loved his mix of physical comedy and charm, and the performance drew the attention of industry professionals. His success on the show led to guest spots on popular programs and kick-started his television career. The momentum from Chance of a Lifetime opened the door to an exciting opportunity in 1955, when Van Dyke became the host of CBS's The Morning Show. The offer came through an unlikely connection. Byron Paul, a director at CBS who had met Van Dyke during their time in the Air Force. Live television was still new, and hosting presented a steep learning curve. On his third day as host, Van Dyke tripped over a cable during a live broadcast, sending studio lights crashing around him. Instead of panicking, he turned the accident into an improvised comedy routine, making everyone, including the viewers at home, laugh. Moments like this highlighted Van Dyke's ability to stay calm under pressure and transform mistakes into comedic gold. This knack for humor also served him well during his time on game shows. Van Dyke appeared on To Tell the Truth as a panelist, charming audiences with his quick wit. However, his success on the show wasn't without drama. In 1957, he correctly identified a contestant pretending to be a CIA agent, sparking accusations that the show was rigged. The controversy forced CBS to issue a public statement defending Van Dyke and the program. Despite this, his charm and likability continued to make him a favorite on television. Van Dyke's transition from hosting to acting began with a guest role on The Phil Silvers Show in 1957. He played a soldier caught up in one of Sergeant Bilko's schemes. Though Van Dyke was nervous about working with the legendary Phil Silvers, who was known for his sharp humor, Silvers surprised him with kindness. Silvers gave Van Dyke advice that boosted his confidence, helping him deliver a standout performance. This experience taught Van Dyke valuable lessons about timing and delivery, skills that would shape his comedic style. In 1959, Van Dyke made his Broadway debut in The Girls Against the Boys. Although the show closed after only 16 performances, it became a turning point in his career. During the production, he caught the attention of Gower Champion, a famed choreographer who later cast him in Bye Bye Birdie. That role became a breakthrough moment, catapulting Van Dyke into the spotlight and setting the stage for his future success. From his nerve-wracking start on Chance of a Lifetime to his standout performance on The Phil Silvers Show, every step of Van Dyke's journey demonstrated his resilience and versatility. He transformed setbacks into opportunities, whether by improvising after a live mishap or conquering his fears of performing alongside icons. Dick Van Dyke's rise to Broadway stardom began with an unexpected opportunity and a bit of luck. In 1959, he appeared in a short-lived show called The Girls Against the Boys, which closed after just 16 performances. Though brief, this experience led him to audition for a role in Bye Bye Birdie, a musical that would change his life forever. Van Dyke auditioned for a small part in the show, but his performance caught the attention of legendary choreographer Gower Champion. After singing his audition piece, Van Dyke nervously broke into an impromptu soft shoe dance. Despite having no formal dance training, his natural charm and energy were enough to impress Champion, who shocked Van Dyke by offering him the lead role of Albert Peterson on the spot. Overwhelmed, Van Dyke protested, saying he couldn't dance, but Champion simply reassured him, "We'll teach you." This moment of faith would prove to be pivotal for both the actor and the production. When Bye Bye Birdie opened on Broadway on April 14, 1960, at the Martin Beck Theater, it became an instant hit. Inspired by the real-life drama of Elvis Presley's draft into the Army, the show blended humor and heart, with Van Dyke's performance as the bumbling yet endearing Albert Peterson standing out. His comedic timing and ability to bring emotional depth to the role won over audiences and critics alike, turning what could have been a simple character into something memorable. Van Dyke's breakout success was cemented at the 1961 Tony Awards, where he won the Tony for Best Featured Actor in a Musical. The award was especially meaningful, coming just a year after his Broadway debut. That night, Bye Bye Birdie won 4 Tony Awards, including Best Musical, solidifying its place as a Broadway phenomenon. For Van Dyke, this recognition propelled him into the national spotlight and drew the attention of Hollywood. In 1963, Columbia Pictures adapted Bye Bye Birdie into a film, and Van Dyke reprised his role as Albert Peterson. However, the transition from stage to screen wasn't without its challenges. The movie shifted its focus to highlight Anne Margaret's character, Kim McAfee, sidelining Van Dyke's role in favor of appealing to a younger audience. This creative change frustrated Van Dyke, who felt the story had lost some of its heart. Despite his reservations, Van Dyke's performance in the film was praised. Critics noted his natural talent, with Variety commenting that he showed a broader range of skills than his television appearances suggested. The movie was also a financial success, grossing over $13 million and introducing Bye Bye Birdie to an even wider audience. This period marked an incredible transformation in Van Dyke's career. In just 3 years, he had gone from an unknown Broadway actor to a Tony-winning star and a leading man in Hollywood. The story of how the Dick Van Dyke Show came to life is one of chance and reinvention. It all began with Carl Reiner, who created a pilot called Head of the Family in 1960, based on his own experiences as a comedy writer. Reiner not only wrote the show but also starred in it. However, the network rejected the pilot, feeling that it didn't quite work. That's when producer Sheldon Leonard stepped in with a bold idea. "We'll get a better actor to play you." This suggestion led to a complete reimagining of the show, and the search for a new lead began. At the time, Dick Van Dyke was relatively unknown in Hollywood. He was starring in the Broadway musical Bye Bye Birdie when Reiner went to see him perform. Reiner was immediately struck by Van Dyke's physical comedy skills and impeccable timing. He knew he had found the right person to bring Rob Petrie to life. Naming the show after Van Dyke wasn't about star power, it was simply a practical choice. As Van Dyke later joked, "Nobody asked if anyone had heard of Dick Van Dyke. They just needed a name for the show." The collaboration between Carl Reiner and Dick Van Dyke turned out to be magic. Reiner's sharp, witty scripts paired perfectly with Van Dyke's vaudevillian charm and everyman appeal. Together, they created a character who was both relatable and lovable. Van Dyke's natural chemistry with co-stars Rose Marie and Maury Amsterdam added another layer of brilliance. Van Dyke credited them for setting the rhythm of the comedy, saying, "You just rode on top of that rhythm they created. It was perfect." The show's groundbreaking approach set it apart from other sitcoms of the time. It was one of the first to blend workplace comedy with family life, offering a fresh perspective by showing Rob's work as a comedy writer and his home life with Laura in New Rochelle. This dual focus allowed for a wide variety of storylines and richer character development. It also broke away from the tired trope of the bumbling husband and smart wife. Rob and Laura Petrie were equals in their marriage, both capable of humor, mistakes, and heartfelt moments. Their relationship felt real and modern, resonating deeply with viewers. The Dick Van Dyke Show also pushed creative boundaries with its storytelling. Episodes often used flashbacks and dream sequences, techniques rarely seen in sitcoms at the time. One memorable episode, The Night the Roof Fell In, even featured talking fish narrating the story, showcasing the show's willingness to experiment and take risks. The now iconic opening sequence, where Rob Petrie trips over an ottoman, was a last-minute idea. Shot in just a few minutes, it became a hallmark of the show, with viewers eagerly guessing whether Rob would trip or avoid the ottoman in each episode. Despite its eventual success, the show struggled in its first season and came close to being canceled. But by its second season, it had gained a devoted audience and critical acclaim. Over its 5-year run, the show won 15 Emmy Awards, including 3 for Outstanding Comedy Series. Its influence on television writing was profound. Reiner's approach of asking his team, "What happened at your house this week?" inspired writers to draw from real-life experiences, a practice that became standard in sitcoms. The legacy of The Dick Van Dyke Show is undeniable. It launched the careers of both Dick Van Dyke and Mary Tyler Moore, who became television icons in their own right. The show's sophisticated writing, timeless humor, and groundbreaking portrayal of marriage and family life continue to be celebrated. Even decades later, it remains a blueprint for sitcoms, with its impact felt in every corner of the genre. In 2013, the Writers Guild of America ranked it number 14 on its list of the 101 best-written TV series of all time, securing its place as one of television's greatest achievements. Dick Van Dyke's journey in Mary Poppins is filled with passion, humor, and a surprising amount of struggle, both on and off screen. His casting as Bert, the cheerful chimney sweep, was a natural fit, but landing the role of Mr. Dawes Sr., the elderly bank director, required more effort. Van Dyke was so determined to play the part that he offered to do it for free. Walt Disney, initially skeptical, needed convincing. Van Dyke designed his own makeup and performed a screen test, which impressed Disney enough to give him the role. However, there was a catch. Disney insisted Van Dyke donate $4,000 to the newly created California Institute of the Arts. Reflecting on this, Van Dyke joked, "I paid him to let me do the part I offered to do for free. I'm still scratching my head over that." Despite the cost, he believed it was worth every penny and said he would have paid even more. While Van Dyke's performance as Bert became iconic, his Cockney accent became infamous. Even Van Dyke has admitted it was atrocious. The blame, in part, fell on his dialect coach, J. Pat O'Malley, who was Irish and not particularly skilled at a Cockney accent. The result was a mishmash of sounds that made his attempt more caricature than authentic. His accent was so notorious that it ranked second in a 2003 poll of the worst accents in film history. Van Dyke has kept a good sense of humor about it, even mentioning how, during his cameo in Mary Poppins Returns as Mr. Dawes Jr., he worked closely with a language coach to avoid repeating the same mistake. He quipped, "They won't laugh at me this time." On set, Van Dyke and Julie Andrews shared a dynamic of mutual respect, though their experiences differed. Andrews was confident and composed, having already established herself as a star. Van Dyke, by contrast, felt out of his depth, particularly during the musical recordings. He struggled to match Andrews' vocal precision, explaining how her soprano voice was slightly sharp, while his was naturally flat. "It was like trying to climb a mountain," he joked, but he credited Andrews for her patience and encouragement throughout. Working with the innovative special effects of the film, like dancing alongside animated penguins, added another layer of challenge. Timing and precision were crucial, as animators often guided him to match his movements to their planned sequences. Behind the scenes, the adaptation faced criticism from P.L. Travers, the author of the Mary Poppins books. Travers famously disliked Disney's version of her work, particularly the sweetened portrayal of Mary Poppins, whom she envisioned as stern and commanding. Travers openly expressed her disdain, reportedly saying she hated both Van Dyke and Andrews. Her dissatisfaction reached a peak at the film's premiere. While the movie received widespread acclaim, Travers was in tears, not from joy, but dismay. She demanded that the animation sequence be removed, to which Disney bluntly replied, "Pamela, that ship has sailed." Her reaction underscored the tension between her vision and Disney's adaptation. Amid these challenges, Van Dyke was quietly battling personal demons. During filming, he struggled with alcoholism, which he used as a way to overcome his shyness. He revealed that drinking helped him feel more social and relaxed, but it came at a cost. Van Dyke later admitted that his reliance on alcohol led to depression and moments of despair. "I was in deep trouble," he shared, confessing that he had even experienced suicidal thoughts. Despite these internal struggles, his professionalism on set never faltered. His energy, charm, and flawless execution of demanding dance routines masked the pain he was feeling inside. At 98 years old, Dick Van Dyke remains a beloved icon, proving his charm and talent are truly timeless. Despite his age, he continues to captivate fans of all generations. In a December 2023 interview, he revealed something surprising. He's receiving more fan mail now than during his peak years. What makes it even more special is that much of this mail comes from children who have fallen in love with his family classics, like Mary Poppins and Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. "I'm getting letters from little kids," he shared. "They watch the movies over and over." This new wave of admiration highlights how his work continues to resonate, even decades after it was first released. Van Dyke hasn't slowed down in his career, making history twice in 2024. First, he became the oldest actor to win a Daytime Emmy for his guest role on Days of Our Lives. This win came an incredible 60 years after his first Emmy for The Dick Van Dyke Show. Later in the year, he tied the record for the oldest primetime Emmy winner for his variety special, Dick Van Dyke. 98 years of magic. These achievements showcase not only his enduring talent, but also his unique ability to adapt and stay relevant. However, his recent public appearances have sparked concern among fans. In September 2024, Van Dyke canceled his planned appearance at the Fan X Salt Lake Comic Convention. Organizers explained that, at almost 99 years old, traveling and interacting with large crowds was more than he could manage. Around the same time, he also missed the 2024 Emmy Awards, where he had been scheduled to present. These absences worried fans, but Van Dyke didn't lose his humor. When spotted in Malibu shortly after, he joked, "I feel old," but added that he hoped to make it to his 99th birthday in December. His resilience and positivity continue to endear him to audiences. Looking back on his extraordinary career, Van Dyke remains humble and grateful. In a June 2024 interview, he reflected on his journey with a sense of wonder. "To this day, I look back and I'm just astounded. What happened to me is very difficult to get my head around. I've ended up here, being remembered 50, 60 years later. It's wonderful, but I can't get my head around it." Despite all his success, he expressed a simple wish: to be remembered for making people laugh for 75 years. This sentiment perfectly captures his lifelong dedication to spreading joy. One of Van Dyke's most cherished projects remains Mary Poppins. In a November 2024 interview, he shared how deeply the Sherman Brothers' music moved him when he first heard it. "I couldn't believe it, one tune after another. I wept. It was just the most beautiful thing I'd ever heard." His emotional connection to the film is as strong now as it was during filming. He also reflected on the challenges of working alongside Julie Andrews, whom he admired greatly. "She not only is a soprano, she sang just a hair on top of the note," he explained. "And I sang flat. That was tough, trying to match her, but she was patient and professional." These anecdotes reveal both his struggles and his deep respect for his co-star. In a rare moment of self-reflection, Van Dyke described himself as lazy in a December 2023 interview. "I'm pretty lazy, really. When I'm having fun, all right. But I'm a lazy person. I don't have a lot of drive. I've been very lucky." This surprising statement contrasts with his long and successful career, suggesting his passion for performing was fueled more by joy than ambition.